Hello, 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 and welcome,
What's going
welcome,
on?
welcome.
What's going on?
Nothing. What's going on with you? How's everything going down there? What's up? Anything new?
Nothing.
Dangerous?
Can't call it. Might spoil it.
Can you call it? Might spoil it.
Had the grandkids over the weekend. That was a great time. So good stuff.
Isn't it just a beautiful, beautiful
It is.
thing
Indeed, it
to
is.
have and be able to enjoy your grandbabies?
Indeed, it is. I had
Man, that's
Jacoby.
that's.
I had Jacoby, one of your favorite guys.
hmm
He wanted to podcast, so I let him podcast, and he did his thing for about 45 minutes. So streaming
Yeah,
you
I
know,
can't believe he is 11, 10, 11.
11.
Man, time doesn't wait, you guys. That's why you have to get it right because if not for you, get it right for these kids so that they will have a better opportunity at a better mindset or just a better way of living and thinking and processing and rationalizing and perspectives and all that above. Man, if we could just pass that on to them like a healthy mindset, a healthy mind, and a healthy heart, and the ability to guard their heart without feeling guilty or anything like that, man, to put themselves first in the proper way. We could do that.
I'll tell you something funny before we get off into it. As he's doing the podcast, and Jordan, that's my granddaughter, his sister, we were out in the living room watching him on the TV.
hmm
The boy started quoting scriptures.
He what?
He was referencing scriptures in the podcast that he was doing.
Oh, oh,
Yeah, yeah,
that's cool. He's always been a different, different
listen,
kind of child. Yeah, like
yep,
a grown, like an old soul.
yep,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. It's like he doesn't meet strangers or is not a stranger to himself or people. But that's good. That's good. I'm glad you got to experience them. And I know you wish you could do it more often. They need to move closer.
Yeah,
Make them
but
move. Make your daughter move.
Taylor says she's working on it. She's working on
Really? I
it.
was
Yeah,
joking, but that's
yeah.
good.
It's kind
That's
of nah,
good.
it's kind of emotional when they left because they were crying, the dog was crying, and Taylor was crying, and
Yeah,
they didn't want to leave,
yeah, yeah.
and they
Oh,
expressed
that's
that
good.
to her.
That's good.
Yeah.
Truly good.
Oh
So,
yeah.
welcome, 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 everyone. Thank you guys for choosing us. I know choosing us this evening. I know that I guess the link was really late because
Well, hey, we're gonna do. Are we gonna do the television version of this, or are you gonna do the real? We always giving them the real over here. So you want to do the real? Do you want to get? Do you want to do
look,
the real?
you know what? It is what it
Let's
is with
both.
me these
Let's
days.
both.
I don't care.
So I'm minding my business on a Tuesday, relaxing my muscles. My day off from the gym, and I get this call. And I didn't, laying around. So she
You
calls
get a
me.
return call. Don't say. Don't
Yeah, I
do.
get. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I get a return
Yes.
call because I was wondering we were gonna do a show because I didn't see anything. So she called in this big funk, a huge funk. Like I'm like, damn, what's wrong with her? And I'm telling her about Jacoby's day, weekend and all that. And normally she would respond and because that's her favorite guy, favorite little guy. So she didn't say nothing. So it's kind of bland and she hung up. I don't think I want to do a show today. I'm just I just don't feel like it. About an hour later, I get another call. She real perky. Real perky. Well, you know what? I think I'm gonna do a show because I was hungry early.
I was angry, but y'all, for real, like I didn't realize it because I really have been kind of munching all day. Like I've been eating a little bit of this and a little bit of that all day, but it's like peanuts, um, a little bowl of grits. But I did have breakfast, so I just been constantly eating, but it wasn't like a meal. So I really do get hangry. If today, like the light went out or all on as I'm eating, I realized, oh wow, I'm feeling normal. Like I'm starting to feel like myself again. I was like, I was hangry. So it is what it is. But it did make me feel so much better. So I know that I cannot get hungry. Like I have to stay with it because you would not like me in my hangry phase. or stage of life. You just wouldn't. So I won't like myself because I was just in a funk. But after I ate, it's like, okay, I'm cool.
Here's the thing about it. When you were calling, I saw your name again pop up. It's like she didn't change her mind. I knew it. I knew it. But it's
Food
all
get it. It's all good. It is what it is. Let it do what it do. But what? Don't let it do you. Eat
so
whatever
this
it is.
topic. So this topic.
So, of course. Well, let's back up a little bit. Let's make sure we get the housekeeping things out here. I want to remind you guys that we're coming to you by way of Better Together Unity TV. That's B2G Unity TV, just representing that we're always better together, and for sure we are when we are better with ourselves internally when we have did the work and continuing to do the work because it is a forever process, the transformation process and growing and becoming one first with yourself so that you can unify with others. So tonight we are not really representing any relationship table talk butterfly evolution. We're just doing this show as a spin-off from a broadcast that Trent did on his show last week. Was it last week?
Last week. It was last week.
Last week. And I remember seeing it, the link come out, and I thought instantly, I thought, well, what was the title? What was the official title?
The
Uh,
official title was "Girls Trip." Is it good for your mental health?
okay. So I remember thinking, um, it is, but it depends on, for sure, yourself. Don't really have to say that, but who you're going with as well and where you're going. I think all trips can be good for your mental health if you are good for your mental health.
But when I initially wrote the thing up, I wasn't thinking about mental health at all.
Yeah,
And once I pushed it out, I was like, damn, I shouldn't have did that because D's gonna take advantage of this with the mental health. And what I really wanted to talk about was what we're gonna talk about tonight.
right,
But we'll
right,
get into it. I'll just let you get into that. But I really wasn't talking about the mental health because I've been on these girl trips, not with them, but I've been at an island and seen them come in, and you go figure from there.
right.
But I've
And,
seen how
and
they
from
get down
all backgrounds, married, single,
from all
all the
backgrounds.
above.
Most of them were married. We'll
Mm,
get into it in the show once
okay,
you
okay.
get
So
on.
let's check the comments out. Oh, slash, you make sure you don't go anywhere. Please don't go because I'm going to talk about
Love Slash.
you in a very positive and thank you my brother way. So don't please don't go anywhere. So thank you guys. I see Bernie A. Shaw Jr. out there. Thank you. And we're going to get to those comments here in just a second. I want to give those housekeeping tips out for you guys. So trash can baby. I'm gonna be brief with these tonight. The trash can baby. If you have not, people, please, please, please. No, you were supposed to do this trash can baby. Are you ready? Or should I?
You should. You should.
Okay. So in order to promote change, because everything changes, no matter what it is or how you perceive it. We change, the seasons change, life changes. Um, and so we have to learn to adapt to change. However, I think it's one of the most things that we avoid, especially when it comes to changing internally, changing our mindset, changing the way that we think, and so forth. And so, one of the most silliest ways you'll probably ever hear of the way that we promote it is we ask that you move your trash can. One perhaps that you visit frequently, you use a lot. Move it from one location to another, and then monitor how often you return back to the old location where you moved it from. And every time you go back there, ask yourself important questions. And maybe you need to create the questions for yourself, but some general questions are, why am I returning back to this place that I know I've moved my trash can from? What else am I just going to because it's what I know? I'm on cruise control in this space in life. Why do I keep going back to toxic people? Why do I keep entertaining the energy of toxic people? There's so many questions that it can generate if you will just sit within yourself and allow it to. So move that trash can. If you're married, if you have children, put a chart on the refrigerator and ask them to, draw a line how many times that they find themselves going back and what it makes them think about as far as change and getting stuck, just because it's what you know. So do that for us. Send us your stories. If you want to share it here on the podcast, whatever, we would love to have you come and do that. So I'll do the assessment information at the end. So because I want to go ahead and get into this. So good evening, Slash. Again, good evening, Bernie A. Shaw. And I'm going to read, he says, if they're married women, it's cool. But single ladies are not so cool. But you can't hold people from life for the sake of love.
Hmm.
So if they're married women, it's cool. But single ladies, not so cool.
I
Did you
got a
mean that
plot
the other
twist
way?
for you guys.
Huh?
I got a plot twist for him. I see where he's talking. I see what he's
Okay.
talking about.
So is he saying married women, it's cool for them to go
That's what
on a
he's
girls'
saying. He's
trip?
saying single women, you can't hold single women back.
Okay.
We got a plot twist for you, brother. Let's see
Okay.
what he's
Okay.
talking about.
Okay. So when I was listening to the show, and I'll go ahead since Slash Mark is online. Um, Mark, I'll be very honest with you. I was a little upset as to the comeback on you. I heard you as a male saying your preference is, especially if you're in a relationship, to go on trips with with your significant other, with your woman, with your wife, with your children, and I respect you for that. I really do. And I was sharing some of the things that you said with another woman. I don't think I got to share it with a man. And she was like, I totally get what he's saying, especially in this time of life where there's so much out there. There's so many distractions, and you can be caught up just like that if you're not careful. But I really respect the fact that you're saying your preference would be to hang out together. Now, do I think there's anything wrong with going on a girls trip? Well, I did ask a man, but I asked a different question. It wasn't about what Slash said. It was about me personally. Really, I'll just go ahead and throw that out there. Going on a girls trip, and he said I wouldn't expect you to go on a girls trip. Women with women, yes, but it's a clear difference between girls and women is what he said. And it truly is. It truly is. Your purpose of going, who you're going with will change. It will change your life, and it may even destroy your marriage if you pick the wrong girls.
That's right.
If you pick the wrong girls. I also asked Trent, and I'm probably going to tilt some wheels here too, but it is what it is.
Oh,
How
this is
many of the
this
girls
is not
that I heard on your show, I remember saying, um, because it got to the point where I heard like we shouldn't even have to check in. Like who doesn't what first of all, why do we view it as checking in when you're in a relationship with someone and you are miles away from home? Why is it viewed as checking in?
right.
And I asked Trent, how many of those women are married? And he's
Zero.
are in a relationship. I said in a relationship. He said none of
Zero.
them.
Zero.
Because I feel like you guys, if you're in a relationship, if I'm in a relationship and I'm out of town, or my guy is out of town, and he feels like calling me just to say, "Hey, babe, how you doing? How's everything going? Things are going great here. I'm getting ready." He didn't even have to say where he's going. But if he thinks that calling me when he arrives and calling me when he's getting ready to leave is okay, nah, bro, you ain't for me. And it's not that I'm checking in with you. It's not that, or you have to check in with me. It's a connection, a relationship.
Right.
And so we have to be careful, ladies. We really have to be careful. And I'm not saying that the guys don't have to be as well, but this is not what we're talking about. So I'm not going to get into comparing. Well, they do it. We should do it. I'm not a man. I am not a man, and I do not want to do, even if it's right or wrong. I don't want to put myself in comparison with a man in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Why? Because God tells him to treat me like Christ, love me like Christ loved the church. That makes me quite different right there. Drop a pin. So, what say ye? We got some comments too, but what say ye?
Let's get into the meat and potatoes of this thing, right? So when I initially, again, like I said, when I initially wrote this piece up, I was speaking on girls' trips that I've encountered, that I've experienced over the years, in various parts of the country and abroad. And all my experiences with them, they've been married women, some single women mixed in a bunch, but been in some scandalous type ways.
By experience, you mean connections.
Connections, serious
Okay.
connections,
Okay.
serious connections. So when they talk about mental, it's for mental, relief and, taking a break from the spouse, but are you really taking a break from your spouse? Are you really going out there? Are you really going out there for some foreign dick? Let's
Mm.
just let's call it how it is. Let's call it how it is. 1 out of 5 of those girls is plans for a foreign dick on that trip.
So you
Let's be
think you're
real.
saying that those were their intentions when they left the house with their suitcases?
Absolutely. Absolutely, because it happened too many times with me. I didn't go on a trip with them. I just happened to be there on that island. Had to be that place, wherever they were, I would be there. And they'd end up in my suite. And that's
Mm.
just real. And it happened more than once.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sitting here and like I said on my show, I was gonna debunk everything that they talked about. I was gonna debunk everything that they talked about, but they refused to go there. So I was glad when I got the call from you talking about the show. It's like, cool. Now I could actually get up and open it up, really open it up, and get down to the meat and potatoes. Again, if it's 5 girls going on a girls' trip, in my experience, 5 girls, 1 out of 5 is coming for some foreign dick.
Hmm.
And they're gonna leave it right there.
So it's
They're
kind of
gonna leave
like
it right
what
there.
what 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 happens in what they say. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Exactly.
Hmm. Hmm.
Vegas for a girls trip, Vegas is everywhere. Let's be clear. And
So
that's what it is.
again, I totally get what you're saying. It's one of those. It's like that thin line because again, it really
Exactly.
does because not that's not every woman. Like I've gone on a girls trip, and you made me think about it with one of my girlfriends. We've been friends for the longest ever, and we went to a little bed and breakfast in Jackson, Tennessee. Well, I've been on two. Made me think about another one.
Right.
Went to a bed and breakfast, and no, nothing's in Jackson, Tennessee, really to do.
Right.
So we were really going for the heal, for the nurturing, for silence, for the conversation, for good conversation. And
Right.
we didn't really even get to do that. Like I was in my space reading my book. She was doing her own thing. We ended up going to the grocery store. We were going to go out and eat, do all this thing. Got there and didn't even want to do that. Went to the grocery store and didn't leave the place. Like I don't think there's anything wrong with trips. It just again, especially if you're married, what are your intentions? What are you going for? Um, have you made sure that your home is going to be taken care of, your children? And it doesn't mean that the husband can't do that, but I truly believe like they can do, but they can't do it like a woman. And y'all might disagree, but there's just a certain time, there's just order. Let me just say that
I mean,
there's
the
order.
moment, let's just be clear and let's be honest about this, right? The moment you get a girls' trip together and you get all these collective women together with the same mindset of getting a relief, taking a break from the husband, all that stuff, you're setting the tone. Let's be honest about it. You're setting the tone. You got to take a break. Got to get a break from the husband. Got to get a break from the kids. You're setting the tone. So when you actually putting these
What's the
trips together,
tone? Setting the tone of
taking a
give
break
us
from
some
the husband,
examples. What?
taking a break from the husband, setting the tone
Okay.
for something other than a girls' trip. You're
Hmm.
setting the tone. If you got 4 or 5 women talking the same thing, talking about they need a relief, they need a break, take a break from the husband, something's bound to pop off. Let's be honest. We're
So,
all
do you
adults.
think that needing a break in the form of a trip, and let's say let's number the days. Do you have a is there a preference? And men, I would love to hear your perspective on this. I'm going to read the comments here shortly, but does days matter? Do y'all think the number of days and the
I'd
number of girls or ladies?
I'd say a weekend. Okay, yeah, a weekend getaway, cool. I wouldn't have again. I would have a problem with my significant other, my partner, going off on a girls' trip. I'm very secure in mine. I wouldn't have a problem with that at all. But what's fair is 3 days. Bring it back to the house.
Hmm. I asked you. Let me read these comments first because I'm going to ask the question that I asked you after that show.
Okay.
So Darren Spring says, or Sprang, it's not a problem if there is respect for one another. Hmm.
Exactly.
That's
That's a
good.
great point. It's a
I
great
totally
point.
agree. But you know that when once you bring up the word respect, that's a whole nother show
Whole
because
different.
do we
That's a whole
really
different
are we
ball.
really respecting our men and our women in our relationships? But I totally agree with you.
Here's one
Um,
of my questions that popped up. I'm gonna say this before you go on with the
okay.
question. My whole thing was, how many of you guys would actually hold that woman who's actually going out for the foreign penis accountable? Who's gonna say, "Hey, girl, don't do that"? Who's gonna say, "Hey, girl, put that last string down. You don't need that"? Who's gonna say that?
Oh, you mean the guy that's wherever she's vacationing?
Exactly.
Okay.
And
No,
most
they're gonna.
women
Most of them are gonna take them in the suite like you did.
say
No,
again
I
now.
mean, no, I'm not hitting on you. I'm saying seriously. No, not that's not for a strike on you, but and I say like you did. I would I guess differently now, but
Right.
most of them will. Like they're going to yeah for sure for sure.
That's not the vibe that I got from the ladies on the conversation because
What
they're
do you
not
mean?
responsible. They're not responsible for what she do, and that's none of their business. That's
Oh,
their
you mean
vibe.
the girl, like the girls that they went
Yeah,
with?
the girl. I was talking
Yeah,
about the girl.
absolutely. Your friend should never. I mean, your friend will they? I don't know, but
But that was
um,
the question that I posed, and I'm like, who's going to hold her responsible? Who's going to hold her accountable? Who's going to say, hey, who's going to be the accountability partner?
hmm,
Girl, don't do that. That's not right. You got a husband at home.
hmm,
And all of them said they're not responsible for someone else's actions. But if that's your friend, you're gonna pull her coattail. Let's keep it
right,
100.
right, right, right. Um, let's see, but you have to be careful if okay, I think that one we read. Okay. But you have to be careful if you're married and go with all single women, it would be a problem. So Darren Sprain says, but you have to be careful if you're married and go with all single women,
I can
it
agree
would
with
be
that.
a problem. And that's exactly what I meant by it depends on who you're going with and not just who they are, how they are, the mindset. Because
Like how they moving.
married ladies and ladies who are in relationships, you have a good guy. Not all single women want to see you happy, and that's
Exactly.
just real. Like I'm sorry, it's just real. So you have to, and I'm not saying all of them because there are great single women who still support married people and those who are in relationships and want the best for you and your husband and your family. So I do believe that. But if you're married and you are consistently or all the time wanting to go, because you could have that friend who you just happen to get married and you've had that friend for a while, she's single and you guys still hang out, nothing wrong with that. But she
Yeah,
has to
too,
have
but
respect
hold
for
on a
your
second. But she
marriage,
has to have
and you do
respect.
too. Right. She has to
Once
have
you have that
respect for you and your
respect,
husband, but so do you. So
exactly.
you first, the
Find
lady.
some married friend. Find some married friends because at some point there's gonna be trouble. You open the door for trouble if you're married. If I'm married and I got all single friends, I am opening the door for trouble.
I
But
remember
that's more trouble.
exactly similar story, not about the trips, but I remember, and I'm sure he won't mind me saying this, but I always respected him for this. He's a husband, father, and he spoke at one of my events, and I remember him saying, if if my boy calls me and I know he has children, a son or whatever, and every time he calls me it's, can we go do this, and I know he's not spending time with his child, I'm going to say, hey dude, let me get my son, you go get yours, and we'll go shoot, we'll go hoop.
Right, right.
You see what I'm saying? So that it's, you have to be around people not who are just married, but who believe in marriage and understand what
Right.
that means. What
And that
that
was
means.
that was my entire point when I wrote that topic up. Like you have to, but we have to call a spade a spade. We have to call a spade a spade, even if he's your friend. We had to
Right.
call a spade because all the girl trips that I've experienced and that I've encountered have all had scandalous married women that I've had.
So, what's the overall purpose of a girl trip? Just general. What do you think the general purpose of a girl's trip is?
From what they say to take a mental break from life,
Okay.
to take a mental break from their norm. That's what they say.
What
To take a
percentage?
mental break from
Um, which, again, okay. What percentage do you think of? And what does that mean? Let me go there first. What does that mean? Take a break from, in your
what
eyes,
it's
like from a
telling me
male's perspective.
when I hear it, when I hear that, you taking a break from your what life. So you need a vacation from your life.
Okay.
You need a vacation for your life. You need a vacation from your kids. You need a vacation from your husband. You need a vacation from your life, the life that you built. That's what
I've heard of families that go on vacation together, but they take a sitter with them so that their
they
children,
can do things
that they can
together.
still do like things like singles or whatever,
Exactly.
but their children are
There's no
there.
excuse for that because all these resorts, Sandals has them. Everybody has them where the kids go into a separate place.
I'll see. Now I don't know if I'd be okay with. I had to take somebody with me. I don't think know if I'd be okay with taking the children to a separate place, foreign
No, not a
land,
separate place.
people.
They're in the same facility, but there's a kid zone. There's a kid zone in every resort.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I get it. So let's see. Let's put some stuff out here on here.
Trent
Okay.
Friends has a mouthful.
Yeah, this is Slash, you guys. Slash. Hurt. What does he say? Hurt people show and and reveal their hurt. Women say they want a man at their best as their best friend, then get married and need a vacation away from their husband. Where they do that at? Does that mean time away from the marriage vows? Hmm. Well,
But
that's
here's
kind of
the
what
thing.
I meant by when I was saying that I feel like when I heard Slash's comments on your show, that he had a clear understanding. I don't know Slash personally, so I'm judging him by what I hear and what I've heard him say over the past years that I've heard him on the show.
Right.
Is that I understand the distractions that are out in this world, and if I wanted to do those things, I could have just stayed single. What? Why? And I'm not saying anything against you guys. If you want to go by yourself or go do your thing, that's fine. But I still stand on, you have to be mindful of who, what, where, and when. Because as I mentioned to Trent, the ladies that I heard on his show, if they had a man, they were in a relationship, and he came home and said, "Hey, babe, I'm going to Freaknik, or I'm going to Brazil with the guys. We're going to go hang out." I truly believe that all hell would break out.
Absolutely would. Absolutely would. But but here's the thing though, right? You have to know your partner. So in order for my wife, my partner, whatever you want to call her, to go on a girls trip, I have to know her. I have to know her morals. I have to know her character. I have to know everything. I don't believe in handcuffing anyone. If that's what you want to do, you're gonna do it. If that's what you want to do, you're gonna do it. I'm not gonna police you. I'm not gonna do anything. If I have to police you, I don't need you.
Mm.
If I have to handcuff you, I don't need you. If I have to shackle you, I don't need you. So you go and do your thing. You do your thing right now. But when you come home, I can't say your key's gonna work,
So
but
what
you gotta
about
be doing your thing.
the checking in? And I hate
Checking
that
in is
word.
cool.
I hate that word. The words.
The checking in is cool. Like, hey, honey, I made it. Okay, cool. But you don't have to call me all day. I'm at the home. I'm at the house chilling. I'm at the house doing my thing. So you
So
don't have to
I
call
thought
me
I
every.
heard on your show that the check in would be, "Hey, we made it. Hey, I'm on my way back."
That's it. That's all I require.
Hmm.
That's
Okay.
all I require because I don't believe in shackling. Okay, you say you want to go on a good girl. You're going on a girl trip. I have done the due diligence. We both have the tools, and everything's fine in the relationship, as far as I know.
I
So
guess and everybody's different for sure. But I look
I'm
at
not
that as like
shackling them, but I'm not gonna be
if we're in this, I don't know if I would want to be okay with going all this entire time that I'm on vacation and not ever talk to the person that I love.
I mean, I'm sure a call is cool, but if you truly enjoying yourself, go ahead. I mean, call me at bedtime, whatever. But I am just not that.
Okay.
I guess I'm too much into myself because I don't require that. I don't require much.
I don't look at it as a
I'm taking you on
requirement.
your word. I'm
I
taking
would
you for your word,
Right, but I don't see it as I wouldn't see it as a requirement. I would see it as it's something I want to do.
and
Like
that's
I
cool.
want to talk to him. I want to know how things are going. Is everything
Exactly,
okay? I would want to. I can't
and that's
imagine
cool.
not wanting to. But that's
That's
me.
cool. And all I'm saying is that that's cool. But as far as the requirement, as far as me, as far as I'm concerned, no, don't pressure yourself. I mean, it's okay because I've done the thing. I've done it.
You'd be one of those guys to say, "Don't pressure yourself, it's okay." Then she don't wait. She waits until she's leaving and say, "Hey, I'm on my way home," and you'll have an attitude.
Me, you think so?
Yes. You'd be like, you'll be like, I tell you a lot of stuff, and now you decide that this is the one that you want to do.
Stop talking like you know me, Terrence. Stop. Knock it off.
So let's see. Got some more comments here. Um, Slash, I don't know where I stopped on you.
You go to the second one.
Okay, here we go.
That one. Yep.
Here we go. So Slash said this vacation getting, I think he says his vacation thing getting flown out is to take pictures and one up on social media. Okay, keeping up with the Joneses, just something to talk and brag about. Needing shiny things, shiny new objects.
Yep.
We see it 25. I think he says we see it something on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snap. I think he's basically saying we see it quite a bit on all of those.
Right.
Yeah, I do believe that people, not all, but I think we enjoy going on things and doing things like that so we can post on social media and appear that we are whatever, whatever. So I do believe that, Mark, that there's an alarming number of people. I remember in actually with the Bluff City Leadership Training, um, this guy said that people will spend thousands of dollars on a to take a vacation together, and he was saying couples, and barely say two or three words together, but you'll see the pictures that they've taken. They'll say enough to take a few pictures and post them,
And keep
but
them moving. Yeah.
they didn't connect on the trip. It's kind of like, this is what we do, this is what we do and how we do it. So totally agree with you there.
Yeah. Sounds
I'm
good.
sorry, you were going to say
Now I want to break down Slash's last comment. Can you see that?
which one? The one that I have on there? I
No,
read that one.
no, the last one. There's
Okay.
another one. There you go.
Okay, there you go.
I can't see it.
I also broke down on the conversations, saying savings. Let's see, saving something for marriage, creating moments. Okay, saving something for marriage, creating moments for one another, spending quality time with the one you love, precious and treasured time and moments. I went to Nigeria and Ethiopia with friends, but I would love to experience that with my queen. And that's what I got from what Mark was
Right.
saying.
And
And I mentioned to you today that so often women will say, "Hey, I want a man like that. I want a man who wants to spend time with me and do this kind of thing with me." But they were slash and slash.
but honestly,
I'm just
let's
keeping
keep
it
it a
real.
buck here. Let's keep it a buck here. Most women don't want that. Most women do not want that. They say they want the tender guy, they want the caring guy. Most women don't want that. They say what sounds right. Let's be honest here. Because 9 times out of 10, if they're taking a girls trip, they're taking a break from the relationship. That means that that relationship was rushed. That means that was a microwave relationship, microwave marriage. They really don't know each other. They really don't know each other. They've done things before the sweat dry. Come on, man. Let's keep it a buck. They really don't want that.
So in some instances, that does make you want to run and go take a vacation because you probably feel some kind of way um, in the home or in the relationship. That
Exactly.
makes sense.
Exactly.
And not ladies, guys, not saying that's the only reason,
But here's
but
the thing though.
sometimes it could be that you're running.
Here's the thing though, man. I mean, it's like this folks are not being honest. That they're not being honest with themselves. Like, why do you take these breaks? Why do you feel like you need a break from the marriage? Why do you feel like you need a break from your husband? Why do you feel like you need a break from your significant other, your fiance, whatever? Why do you feel like you need? Because you haven't done the work. You haven't done the work within the relationship. This is why you're doing it. Let's just keep it a buck. Why is a girl's trip needed? Mental health from what? A release, mental release from what? What are you relieving yourself from?
Now I'm gonna say, because I don't want people to get the idea that we're saying you should not, because I believe
I'm not
trips
saying that
can
at
be
all.
right, but trips can be therapeutic, but it really comes down to where you're going, who you're going with. For instance, if you come home and say, and you know you're a single lady, or you know that your spouse knows that your married friend is cheating and has had this, and the other,
I
and
was
you
even
come
be on
home
that
and
trip.
say, "Hey, I'm going out of town with this person." Come on now, how would you feel if it was
Good.
reversed?
It's not good.
How would you feel? And that's what I felt like on your show. Like it wasn't all the way true in there, because I'm sorry, and I said I'm not sorry that it's natural to feel some kind of way if your man or woman comes home and say, "Hey, I'm going to take a trip with the guys." Naturally, you're going to want to know what kind of trip, where, who's going to go.
Who's going? Yeah.
Yeah, who's going? And
Hmm.
if it's not a fishing trip, and they may say fishing trip, and the woman still may say, "Yeah, right, okay,"
Exactly.
you know.
Right.
But when you are in a relationship, you guys, I just don't think that we are to continue. Let me say this: I don't think it's healthy to do some of the things that you did as a single person when you get married.
Right.
I just don't. I just don't. Now, is traveling by yourself one of them? Not saying that, but I am saying who you go with, where you go, what's going on in your relationship. Even to that, if you know that if your relationship is struggling, um, there's trust issues maybe already going on. You're not quite coming to a meeting of the minds, and someone comes home and say, "Hey, I need a trip." Could be very possible, a very, you know,
Exactly.
okay kind of trip,
Now we
but
get
you're
down
gonna
to
have
the
some questions.
now we get down to the meat potatoes. If you feel like I said, if you feel like you have to get away, if you know the trust has been broken in that relationship, or the argument back and the argument back and forth and all that stuff,
Mhm.
what do you need a girl's trip for? What do
Need a
you need it
couples
for?
trip, don't you?
Exactly. You need a couples trip. You need a very bad couples trip. You need it real bad. But the question is, the reason why I was saying that, the reason why I wrote that up like that, because I'm like, okay, so when are we going to start doing the work in these relationships? When are we going to start doing the work? Like, why would you even do it and you know that your shit not together at home?
You said something earlier about, and I think it was when I mentioned that what Slash was saying, Mark was saying about, the things that he would prefer to go with his queen and whatever on your show. And you said they don't want, women don't, they say they
They
want
don't
that
want
kind of guy, but they really don't.
they don't.
I feel like they do, but they don't. They don't because not very many women have seen or been raised
They don't recognize that type
to
of guy.
see, right, to know and understand what a healthy, not perfect, but a healthy relationship looks like, what it looks like for a man to honor, to
Right.
cherish. That sometimes creates kind of like the trash can, y'all. I mean, it's unfamiliar. It's not what they know, so it seems off. And they're not willing to, most people are not willing to stay through that uncomfortable time to get what
Exactly.
they really want, to understand that they really want a nurturing man who will say, baby, we're going on a vacation. Where would you like to go?
Exactly.
Who
Most
wouldn't
women.
turn that down? Turn the
Exactly.
girl trip down? Who wouldn't?
Exactly. Most women, to be honest with you, most women, the average one, let's just say the average woman, they're normally looking for the Romello of the bunch. They have a laundry list of what they need, their standards, their what they want, but they really don't want that. They're looking for the Romello of the bunch. They're looking for the dog of the bunch.
You think so? Why?
Absolutely,
Why?
because that's what they recognize. That's what
Okay.
they're familiar with.
That's what I was looking for.
That's what they're familiar with. They're familiar with that. They're familiar with the dog. They're familiar with the guy who's not going to be loyal. They're familiar with the guy who's not going to be, you know, anything to them. They're familiar with that type of guy. So a guy like Slash, they're not familiar with that. So they're going to look away.
Hmm.
They're going to look
They'll come
away.
back and get Slash when they finally get it. They'll come back and
No,
want Slash.
they'll come back and get Slash after their husband broken 1,000 times.
Right. That's what I'm saying. After they finally get it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, let's just put the BS down, man, and just say what it really is when you're going on these girls trips or when even guys, I'm not going to leave you guys out of it. Say what it really is because you haven't done the work in your relationship. If my relationship is on the rocks and it's terrible things going on within my relationship, why am I taking a trip to get away from it?
Yeah.
If I've actually vowed to say I'm going to be with you for life, I'm supposed to be getting my chisel out and helping you find your chisel.
Right. I agree. I
Come
agree.
on, man.
I agree.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
I
So
think
let's keep it a buck.
friends should say, listen, hey, why don't we all get together and go? Because sometimes just being around other couples who are, at this season, in this season, maybe,
Exactly.
nourishing their relationship a little bit better than us, can
Exactly.
allow you to see your relationship differently and want to work on it more.
So why would you throw gasoline on a fire that's already lit if your relationship, your marriage is in trouble and you go off
Because
on
I
your
think
trip?
most people have been taught to run and to not sit in their stuff.
Exactly.
And
And
so we
that's
run
toxic as
from man
hell.
to man, woman to woman, place to place, because we're
Exactly.
truly running from ourselves. We're running from becoming one with ourselves. And
Exactly. That's
so,
toxic as hell. It's toxic as hell to know that your relationship is in shambles, but you're going on this trip.
yeah,
What's the trip for?
yeah,
That's why most guys are like, "What's the trip for?" The guy know that the relationship is not right. That's why he's got a gripe. What are you doing? What's the trip for? What's the girl trip for?
mm.
What is it for? The
So
reason why
what's the
he's saying it
difference in
because
a
he know
girl
the
trip and a
relationship is
woman?
not good.
What's the difference between the girls and the women? The girl trip and the women trip.
Because women gonna be going for women doing women things.
Okay.
Girls are gonna be doing girl things. They're gonna be looking for foreign dick. Like I said,
I
one out
remember.
of five, if not more, gonna be looking for the foreign penis.
Hmm.
That's just the truth.
Hmm. I read an article that said women often, and was saying more about men not wanting women to go on the trip because men know that the women are going to get together and talk, and and this conversation could make their lady, their wife, their girlfriend, um, different, I guess, because
Let
of
me
the
tell you
talk
something. If a
that goes on.
conversation, if a conversation with another woman steers your woman away from you, she wasn't yours in the first place, blood. She wasn't yours in the first place.
Hmm.
She really wasn't.
Hmm.
If she could be steered away by having a conversation with one of her girlfriends, brother, she was not yours in the first place.
But we I've been there. Like I've been to that place where I was easily what's the word,
Sway.
swayed in some ways. So I understand that you could be in that place where, however, I will say this: it's always been when things weren't right anyway. So if
Right.
go back to what you said, if they weren't right, then the space is not going to make it right for
Not
sure.
gonna make it right. No.
Especially the space around, all this fun looking stuff that, makes it look like your life is going down the shambles or boring or it's going to fail anyway. So why not? You know?
Exactly. Let's
Yeah.
get into the meat and potatoes of this thing. Let's get down to, and I know you don't like this word. Let's get down to the trauma of it all. We
What's
talk
it?
about these relationships, right? Let's talk about this for a second. So, why do people constantly run when things are bad in a relationship? If you love that person, if you vow to be with that person, why are you running? Why are you going on that trip to relieve yourself? Why are you running away? This is what you're familiar with. This is what you're familiar. You're familiar with running. You're familiar with going away. So why wouldn't you if that's your person, that's truly your person, you've truly done the work, you guys have held your chisel in both hands, both parties are in this together, all your stuff is on the table. Why would you run? That's a question for y'all. Why would you do it?
Why would you run vacation wise or just period
To me,
altogether?
to me, going on a girls trip when your relationship is in shambles, that's running.
Okay.
That's
Well, I
running.
think we answered that, and I know you brought up the word trauma, and y'all heard him say that I don't like the word. I understand the word. It's not that I don't believe in trauma because it happens. Hell, me myself, I still have triggers um, that awaken my traumatic experiences. However, I do believe that everything is a choice, even in the way you choose to feel. I do
Exactly.
understand trauma enough to know that you cannot control the triggers, and it's deeper than what I'm sounding like, what is coming from me. But I believe that if once we understand and can identify something, and the only reason I'm saying this, you guys, because I know I've been traumatized, I know I've dealt with the effects of trauma. If I can, like I mentioned last week about
Week before
my
last.
thoughts,
Right.
having that thought to where I'm not going to even try to sit in this one. I'm just going to go around it. I'm going to choose to go around it because, like I mentioned, if we don't start making a healthy choice as many and as often as we can, we won't grow. And you cannot keep running from the people you choose, the men
Come
you
on.
choose. You can't keep running because everybody's going to have something that you have to
Right.
stand and stay and deal with. Everybody's going to have something that you wish they didn't.
So
So
again, and like I said, and I'm getting everything out that I wanted to say on the Conversation with Trent show. And the girls trip is not a Dr. Phil or a Dr. Ruth or whoever. It's not a girls trip is not gonna do it for you. It's not gonna maybe staying your ass at home, working it out and fixing that and getting it done. A girls trip is not gonna do it. It's not gonna do it. It's not your Ivana, whatever her name is. It's not your Oprah, whoever it is. That's not your
well,
girls
what
trip.
if ladies were going to that kind of trip? What if ladies were getting together and going to listen to a
Or they going to if they go on the hill, hell, I sponsor that myself the entire trip.
okay.
If they go on the hill,
So
if they go
Regina,
on the hill,
you gotta explain that. Thank you for joining us. It's been a minute. Hope you're well. She says, "Who wants to continue being hurt? No one." So tell us more on that one. I'm not sure. I understand what you're saying, but tell us more. Give me a little bit more. So,
Slash got a good doozy.
is that Slash coming in?
Yeah.
They're gonna have to make this writing bigger, or I need more glasses or something. What's the difference? Girls' trips are for single ladies. Ladies looking for Dexter?
Dexter St. John.
Oh, do tell.
You know that's not
Let's see. Getting Wiba girl wasted. What's
white
that?
girl wasted. White girl wasted.
Oh, is that white? Oh,
Yeah.
that is a T. All right, now what's a white girl wasted? We
White
all
girl wasted is white girl wasted is a very inebriated female who cannot hold her liquor, and she's
okay.
doing any and everything.
Bottomless brunch and smoking trees. Women's trips are the church groups. Couples are with just your family. Couples are with just okay. He said I had one prior to that one. Oh, okay. I think I know what he's saying. He had one prior to that one. Explain. That's your friend.
And he
You
had
know him
one.
more than we do, better than we do. What do you
Right?
mean by that, Mark?
Maybe he's talking about the comment. I don't know. I don't know what he's talking about.
I don't know,
He's
Mark.
talking. No,
Okay,
he's
now
talking about
Mark,
the
don't make
comment.
me change my mind about you.
No, he's talking about the comment. He's talking about the comment. There's one. There's
I'm
another one
joking.
further.
I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. All right, Regina, you didn't leave us. I want to know what you meant by that. Who wants to be? I know what you meant, but as it relates to this particular topic, what did you hear to make you say that in short terms?
Right.
So I want to hear that.
Again, I don't want to come across as saying no girls trips allowed. No, it's not that at all. If everything is all right at the house and we on a very communicative basis, like we communicate, we conversing back and forth, we have a clear understanding within the relationship is healthy, of course you can go. Of course it's fine. But if everything at home is broken, my question, there's gonna be a whole bunch of antennas going up. Why are you doing this?
You know what? It's. I thought about this. Like I have for a long time wanted to go on a trip with like my because I have an aunt who's a little bit younger than I am. So
Right.
like my aunt, my cousins, female cousins, and even my male cousins, their wives, like just a group of women, family, like go and just take the kids, the grandkids, and have a ball, like connect, talk, and all of that. And I'm saying that to say, for me, you guys, it's about purpose. How does this feed my soul so that
Right.
I can continue in my purpose? And I do believe that having that family connection as much as you can and connecting with those who God gave us as much as we can is such a blessing. And I'm saying this to say to go back to purpose. And I feel when you get to that place, you find yourself, and then you realize you were never lost. You were just kind of astray. Um, Everything becomes about purpose and meaning and substance.
Exactly.
Um,
Virginia responded to you.
okay. She says, walk away before someone gets hurt. It's not worth it. Okay. Do you get that one?
I get what she was saying. I think she was commenting on the piece where it was saying, well, why are you leaving? Why are you
Hmm.
going? Why are you going and stuff is broken at home?
Also, Virginia, you're saying like who wants, so maybe that person is leaving because they're continuously being hurt in the
What she's
relationship.
saying is, I think she's agreeing with it. And she's saying,
Right.
well, why even go on a girls trip? Just go, just
Just go.
leave.
Right.
Yeah, just go.
Right.
Totally agree. Totally agree.
Okay. Yeah. So, okay. Let's see. I think I've gotten all the comments. I'm going to take this time because it's coming up on 8:30 and
Mm.
I do have to jump. It seemed like this went so just went so quick.
Yeah.
I want to remind you guys, I did not talk about the assessment um, profile, I'll say, because people kind of shy away from the word assessment. Um, and for me, it just means to assess self. And we offer an assessment, a profile that was life changing for me. Like it helps you not just know who you are, but understand how you are and why you're wired, why you respond to life, love, people, and situations and things the way in which you do. So there's a foundation to us
Right.
that someone else built for us. I'll say that. And I'm not talking about our Father, our God. That your experiences, parents, uncles, aunts, life, school, teachers, that there's a perception that some of us have that has nothing to do with who we are. It's what we bought into. And so I'm putting it out there. If anybody's out there who feels like, hey, I could use some of this. I could use a tool that will help me better understand myself. Because in all I get the understanding. And I think that one of the biggest mistakes that we make is feeling like we don't have to get an understanding of ourselves because we are ourselves, if that makes
Right.
any sense at all. Um, so I encourage you guys, if you are feeling some kind of way, if you need assistance, because it is about character based communication. That's really all it's about. And once you come to yourself and again realize you were never lost, your communication will become more effective. And I'm going to say this quote. And then if you guys just want to know more about this assessment profile, even to being an introducer, where you can introduce it, you can have your church be a part of it. We have churches that require everybody that becomes a member to take it so that there's no they're trying to understand people right where they are so that they can love them right there. Now, it doesn't mean that it tells you all this good stuff about yourself. It tells you where you need to your I'm going to say your the character qualities that you need to work on, whether they're negative or positive. So it does give you that as well. Um, but being an introducer, it could be even a means for raising funds for your church because if everybody has to take it, it's a win-win for all because there's going to be less disconnect because there is more understanding. I understand that sister so and so needs a little bit more attention here. Let's not break her down for that. Let's help her dig up that root and help her move past that forward. So if you want to be an introducer, if you'd like to introduce this concept to your church, to your workplace, family, we've had families. I've worked with a mother and a son who were just so disconnected. So disconnected. And it allowed more so the mom to see, hey, I can't live his life for him. I can't make him be who I want it to be or who I want him to be. So it is for everybody. We even have it for teens, and we have the adult ones. So take the time to check it out, bluffcityleadership.com. You can find out more about it there. If you want to take it, I would ask that you could take it right there from the site, but I ask you to reach out to me because I'll give you a discount, small discount on it. If you'd like to take it, and then we could also talk about you being an introducer and making some money from it yourself. So, any last words from you?
Yeah, I got
Um,
an idea.
okay.
I know we unpacked me. I was actually still in the wheelchair and I got unpacked. But I think that since we've launched a platform, we could actually do that assessment again as far as the one that I did to
Mhm.
actually promote it. And I'll be willing
It's
to
really, really time for you. Did you take it once or twice?
I've done that twice. I'm not doing it again.
You did it twice.
Yeah.
It depends. Okay, so I think I had you do it after you went through I guess I don't know. I'm gonna have to look back. That's why I asked you because I thought you
I
did
think
it
it was
twice.
twice. I think I've done it twice.
Okay,
I think
because typically, and the reason I'm asking that because typically, if we encourage people to take it about every few years, because hopefully we are continuing to grow, and as I mentioned, it's not going to just give you all these great things about yourself. It's going to tell you where you need to
But I think
stop and think.
I think the one that'll be more effective for your viewers and for this platform is the one that I did right right after the incident. I
Well,
think
see,
that'll
that's what
be
I was thinking, that I thought I asked you to take it after that, because typically when you go through a major life event,
that's the one we did.
you start to change. You change in a sense. Like I retook mine a few years ago, and it was interesting because, and I had someone tell me that's been in this longer than I have. She
Right.
said, I would really love to sit down with you and talk about what you've gone through these last few years, because boy, I went. it,
If you want to,
it was just,
we could do another one.
huh?
We could do another one. That,
Okay.
ladies and gentlemen, that's what she actually getting at. So
What
yeah,
for
we could
you?
do it. Yeah, I'll do it.
Another take the assessment again? You
Yeah, I
mean?
mean if that's what you want to do.
I have to look and see when the last time you took it. And we'll see. But yeah, maybe it's
But
good to do
I'm,
another
I'm saying
unpacking.
that the reason why I'm saying that for your viewers is very life changing. I've had that experience with it, and it's intimidating. But I ran for a couple of years from it, but it's intimidating, but it's rewarding. It's self rewarding. I'm telling
Yeah.
you. You
And
know,
I believe it's because I was sharing this with someone yesterday. Um, how this thing came about was nothing but God. It was God Himself speaking to a couple.
right,
Um, because that's how it kind of started, was to help couples learn how to honor each other in the way that they loved each other.
right.
Like based on what you need. What do you want and how do you need it from me? Because we don't all want the same thing. And even if we do, how we need it is sometimes so different. And so we think we're loving people, but what we're really doing is loving them the way that we love, not the way that they need to be loved. And so if you don't understand that, and if you don't understand what you need for yourself, you cannot give someone else what they need without it burning you out. And I
The
think
one
that's
thing I
a
will
lot of
say,
us are.
one thing I will say for your viewers, if you're not ready to do the work, and if you're not ready to see yourself, truly see yourself, don't mess with it. Don't play
Mm.
with it. Period.
Yeah, because it will make some people run.
It's definitely gonna open you
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
It's gonna
it does.
open you up.
It opens you up in a way. I'm telling you that, and there's no way I can tell you. You just have to
You have to
experience it.
experience it.
Just have to experience it.
I
So,
think I think I had a comment there from a look like a
um,
family.
I did. Cousin Cynthia, it is very important to know who you are. You are correct, Tammy. Thank you. And thank you for listening. Thank you all. Thank you, Regina. It's been a minute. Like I said, good to have you back. Thank you, Cynthia. Slash, can't say enough to you, because you show up, you show up, you show up. So thank you. So, what happened to the ladies that were going to speak on tonight's topic? What ladies?
Oh, I think he started because I was telling him about what was her name? The one that you told me about. That she mentioned that he was right.
Oh,
What was her name?
Tamaria. Yeah. Well, she wasn't going to speak on here.
I got you.
Yeah,
That's
I was just sharing with you.
I got you. I
Thank you,
appreciate it.
Cynthia. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I was just sharing with you that she had the same thought process or mindset that I did about just having a man who says, I would prefer to go on vacations with my queen and my
Got
children. That's what I prefer. And she took that as, that maybe he does understand how rough it is out there to stay there,
you. Right.
because in this season, it's these women will take pride in convincing you to mess around on your wife. There's a lot of women out there like that. They're waiting on it. They waiting on your husband to be on
Absolutely.
vacation by himself. So,
Absolutely.
thank you, Cynthia. Tell her thank you, and just tell her say hi, so we'll know who she is, if she's okay with that. We got a new. Cynthia said that she invited someone on, her friend, to listen in. So
Good
thank you,
stuff.
thank you, thank you for that. Now, you guys, I will not. Is it next week?
Next week,
No,
yeah.
next week I'm May 24. I will be on next week. It's the following week. I think I told you guys if you did not listen, I will be turning the big 55 on May 1st. I'm expecting either $5 or $55 or $550 or 500 $5,555 from everybody. So you pick. It could be 555. Um, and I'll even say it could be 5 cents. How about
What
that?
about a double nickel? What about a
Say
double
what?
nickel? What about a double nickel?
I want five, 5 cents. I want 15. 55, 555. So hey, I'll put my cash app out there for y'all so y'all can bless me on my birthday. But I will not be on the week after. I think my birthday is on a Monday. I am going on vacation and not with girls. How about that? What did Mark say?
Yeah.
Okay, we already got that. Wow, my birthday. Oh, Cynthia, you're the same. You have the same birthday as one of my really, really good friends. You owe us a trip here. You owe me a trip here too. You've been telling me that for a long time. You owe me a trip. So um, next year you're gonna have to come down and spend. We're gonna have to celebrate our birthday for the entire month. How about that? So cool.
I don't think you had that last comment from Slide.
Huh?
That looks like a new one.
Huh?
It looks like a new comment from Slide.
Oh, Cynthia's just saying that she says, "Wow, my birthday is May 13th as well," and she says she's gonna come. She put that out on
Good stuff.
the whole world to see. So you guys help me hold her accountable to that. I'm coming. So, well, you guys, it's been great. Thank you. I hope that we have not. I'm hopeful that no one's offended by anything that was said tonight.
And
But if you were, there's nothing I can do about it because
if they
I
were,
meant what I
it
said
wasn't
and I
done in a
mean it from the
malice way.
heart.
Let's just say that
Say that again.
nothing that we speak on is never done in a malice way. If we
Well, that's what I
separate
was saying.
people,
That yeah, it comes from the heart because trust me, I've been there. I've been where I can only assume you are based on what I heard said during your conversation. Um, but we have to start really processing processing things. Um, that has the marks that have been left on us because I think it comes from a deep rooted place of pain and hurt, like what Regina said, like in a different way. I know she wasn't saying it that way, but sometimes people hurt you and then you continue to hurt yourself based on that pain.
yeah,
So you deserve, if you so want, you deserve that man who's saying, baby, I want to take you on your vacation, I want to go with you, I want to be there to share those moments with you. And I'm not saying you don't have them, but based on the question that I asked, how many of those ladies are in a relationship? And he said none.
none.
None. So there you have it. But anyway, I am going to eat the rest of my food no matter what you say. Because I had to come down and gobble that real quick to get on the show. So I'm going to eat the rest of my food. I will be on next Tuesday, the 25th. However, after that,
Good stuff.
I will not come on the following week. But y'all can still, bless me on my birthday, May 1st, 55. So,
Good stuff.
all right. Thank
We'll be
you
on
for,
tomorrow. Tomorrow. There'll be some gumbo talk. So there's no specific topic. We'll just be doing some. We call it gumbo talk,
you
where
probably going to be in trouble tomorrow on your own show.
it'll be all right. I can handle it. So
Okay. Well, blessings to you, great people. Thank you for choosing us tonight. Do the work, do the work, do the work, do the work. We love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Have a great night.